Alrighty, so this is a trick question because you asked me two questions, not one, but I'm going to answer the one today about what is a general clean. All right, so what is a general clean first and foremost? This is every time you show up for a job, whether it's an Airbnb or it's a home or it's an apartment, anytime you show up for a job, there are about 30 or 40 things that you're going to do right off the top of the bat. So by that, I mean you have a checklist you're going to be working through, and there will be specifics to that house. But if there was no checklist and there were no specifics, these are the things you're going to do at every clean. All right, the very first thing that you're going to do when you arrive at a house is you're going to take out your flashlight and your clipboard, and you're going to do a walkthrough of the house. And you say, what? I already did a walkthrough with a customer. Yes, that's true, but we're going to do a walkthrough for every job. What I'm looking for on this quick walkthrough, it's just quick, it's fast. I've got a flashlight, I'm looking around at surfaces. Where is the dust? Where are the cobwebs? Is there anything that I don't see that if a customer sees when the light hits it at a different time of the day, they're going to call me back and say I didn't clean it, right? So I'm looking for all of those hot pockets that need extra special attention. As I walk into a room, I'm going to get a general overview of the room. Is there anything out of place? And if things are out of place, meaning there's a whole bunch of extra pizza and plates and stuff that was left over and open soda cans, and there are chairs that are dumped upside down, and there are toys and clothes and blankets lying around, all of that's going to need to be dealt with. And so at the very first of the shift, when I very first get there for the job, I'm going to take a snapshot of that with my camera. I'm going to text it to the customer and say, hey, this room is not how it normally is. It's going to take me a little bit of extra time today. Did you want me to spend my focus here, or did you have other priorities in the house? They might say, skip that room altogether. I want you to do the regular general cleaning. Okay, great. Now we know we're not going to spend an hour in this room tidying everything up and resetting this room. That's not what they asked for. They want us to do the regular house. They want us to skip this room altogether. So you need to know that right up front. The next thing I want you to look for is any damage. So if you show up at a job at 8 o'clock in the morning and you walk in and there's a busted light or a lamp, I want you to make a note of that as well. You're going to send a picture of that to the customer and say, I just arrived at the job. You knew I was expected here at 8 o'clock. It's 8:03. There's a busted lamp here. I didn't have anything to do with it. What do you want me to do with it? And they might say, just clean it up and, I'll deal with it later. But at least they know you did not break it. If you send them that text at 12 o'clock in the afternoon, they're going to say, you've been at my house for 4 hours. Why are you just telling me about this broken lamp now, right? They think you broke it. And maybe you had nothing to do with it. But if you don't get to that part of the house until the later part of your job, they're going to think whatever's busted, you did. That's why we do a quick walkthrough at the very beginning of every job. We're just going to go in and find our bearings and find out what's messier, what needs our attention. If there are cobwebs, do I need my big pole? If I don't need my big pole, we're not going to bring it out today. I have it with me, but we're not going to bring it out if we don't need it, right? So you're just going to do a quick double check, make sure everything is set up so that you can do your job efficiently. All right, now that you've set everything up, you've talked with the customer, you're ready to do the general cleaning, what is that? So in every bathroom, you're going to do the toilets. You're going to wipe them down from top to bottom, around the toilets, around the base of the toilet, the baseboards of the toilet, and the floor away from the toilet. At every house, it's non-negotiable. In every house, there's a bathtub or a shower. You're going to wipe that down, scour it down from top to bottom. It's non-negotiable. People take showers every day. That needs to be cleaned. The glass doors of the shower need to be wiped down and sanitized. If it's a shower curtain, that also needs to be cleaned. It just depends on what the situation is, but the shower and bathtub at every cleaning. All right, the vanities. All the vanities need to be wiped down, and whatever is on the vanity needs to be wiped down at every cleaning. And you're not just going to start with the vanities. We're going to start with the lights on top of the vanities. If there are no cobwebs and there's no dust and anything above that, we'll start with the lamps and we'll dust our way down. And then everything that's there, we're going to wipe it down or dust it down so that there are no remnants of anything on the vanity. And as we wipe and clean everything down, we're going to clean out the basin of the sink so that whole area is reset. At every single cleaning, that's just general. All right, so now that the general big fixtures of the bathroom are done, we're going to sweep and mop our way out. And by that, I mean you're going to dust everything along the way. If there are any shelves, if there are any knickknacks, if there's a window, if there are blinds, if there's a window sill, if there are flat surfaces that go around a decorative tub, if there are knickknacks that are sitting on the decorative side of the tub, all of that stuff needs to be wiped down before you can work your way out of the bathroom. As you're working your way out of the bathroom, you're going to sweep and mop or vacuum and mop or whatever that process is. If there are any throw rugs in the way, You're going to pick those up and either shake them or vacuum them or wash them, whatever the process is. Now, if there are any garbage or rubbish inside the bathrooms, we're going to empty that as well. This is just common sense stuff. If you are in doubt, if you are ever in doubt about what needs to be done, I want you to ask yourself this question. How much am I being paid for this job? And if the answer is, and I'm making this up, $200, I want you to ask yourself this question. If this were my house and I were paying someone else $200 to come to my house and clean it, and they skipped this area, would I be mad? Would I call them back and want them to come back and clean it? And if the answer is yes, you would be mad and you'd want them to come back and clean it, your answer is solved. Then stay and clean that area. That is your general cleaning. All right, now into the kitchen. As you go into the kitchen, there are common things that will be done at every single cleaning. It's non-negotiable. And so all of the flat surfaces will be wiped down. These are all of the countertops. These are all of the surfaces of the appliances. So the front of the fridge, the front of the stove, the front of the microwave, the front of the dishwasher, all of the fronts of the cabinets and the little handles and the area around the handles that have goop and gunk on them. You'll wipe that down quickly as you clean. All right, and we're starting at the top in every room, okay? Start at the top. If there's anything above your head, all that needs to be dusted and you work your way down. And so as you work your way down, you wipe all the flat surfaces and work your way down and we're done, right? All of the inside of the things, the inside of the sink, the inside of the microwave, the inside, all of the insides of the major appliances we do. We do not clean the inside of the refrigerator. We do not clean the inside of the dishwasher on a regular cleaning. We don't clean any of the insides of the drawers, just the outsides of everything. Okay, that's general cleaning. All right, now also garbage. If there's a garbage can, if there's rubbish, if there's trash in the kitchen, sometimes there's recyclables and there's regular trash that all needs to be emptied per whatever the family does. They might have a recycling bin, they might have a trash can, whatever it is, you make it work for that house. Okay, so that's your general for the house. As you move through the house, every room has its own general things. If you go into the living room and there are pictures on the walls, again, we start at the top and we work our way down. If there's a ceiling fan, we're going to do that on a deep clean. We may want to clean it every couple of times just to keep the dust and debris off, because if people are spinning it all the time, it's spinning dust around the room. So we want to keep that clean. That's going to require our big pole. All right, with the next part of that, any knickknacks, any picture frames, any door frames, any 6-panel doors, you just dust that as you go. Again, you dust the blinds, you dust the window seal, and then you're going to come down and do the baseboards, vacuum your way out of the room. If there's anything else that needs to be done, if there's a pillow lying on the floor, you pick the pillow up, you fluff it, you put it back on the sofa. If there are sofas there that have removable cushions, vacuum underneath the removable cushions, put them back, reset everything. If there are chairs that have pennies and food and things that are stuck in them, of course, you empty the food, you take the water bottles, you take that back to the kitchen, or you toss them if they're disposable. You vacuum the areas, you remove the pennies, you put them in a little dish or in a little spot right there on the coffee table so that the family knows that you found them and that you cleaned them and that you did not steal them. So there are common things in every single room. What it's going to come down to is just common sense. And if you are unsure, ask yourself the question, if I were paying for this service at the price I'm being paid, would I want this area clean? And so it's just an overall of the whole entire room. Every room is a little bit different. Every room has its little nuances. If you get to a house and there's a bonus room and it's full of weight equipment, have a conversation with the homeowner up front. Do you want me to dust all the arms and legs and moving parts of this equipment every time I come? They might say yes, that might be the man cave of their home, and that's important to them. They might say, I never go in there, I never use the equipment. You can skip that room altogether. But once you've had those conversations with the homeowner, it makes your job super easy, because then you know what exactly you are marking off and what you have agreed to as part of this job that you have billed for. If you're doing rooms of the house that they never use and they don't want you to clean and they're not willing to pay for that, it shouldn't be part of your bid. And there are lots of rooms in lots of houses where they don't have you clean, like guest rooms that are being unused. You don't clean those every time if it's not part of the bid, because you only clean them when the guests come in and you make sure there's no dust and the pillows are fluffed and all those things. If nobody's using it, they may not want to pay you to have you do that part of the house. Anyway, so those are general items inside a home. I know that's a lot to cover, but it's basic in every single home, just general stuff. Once you do the general stuff in every home, then you can focus on the specifics that make it special and customized for that house.